What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. The numbers have spoken. You guys really like this car, so I'm here to give you another video about my ownership of this car that sits in front of me, my 2025 Toyota Camry LE. So I want to be as transparent as possible. I've had this car for about 8,000 miles now, which is crazy to think that just in the other side of my yard, I filmed a video on this exact car with 3 or 6 miles or something on it. Feels like it was yesterday. Anyway, I have 8,000 miles on this car now. I'd like to be honest with what I think about the car. So I don't necessarily want to get into all the stats and the numbers and stuff. You can look all those things up. How does it feel to own the car, to drive the car? What are the weird little quirks and things that are interesting and things that you might want to change, things you may like or not like? So I don't quite know where to start, but I do have one idea, because all of you also said a lot about this. So the first thing I'm going to do is get in the back seat of the car. So I'm in the back seat. You may think this is a weird place to start, but boy, were there a lot of comments. So I'm still figuring out this new filming thing. To me, I kind of just get in the zone or on autopilot or whatever you want to call it, and I just say what I'm saying. In my last video, I said that I'm something like tall enough, or not the tallest person ever, or whatever it is that I may have said. I am 5'11". For all of you who got mad, wow, this is a weird thing to get mad at. I just wanted to explain that I have a little bit of headroom here in the back seat, and I'm not 7 feet tall. That's all I thought I was getting at, but I'm sorry that I made so many of you so angry. Anyway, back seat of the car here. Pretty comfortable. I have the nice addition now of dog hair and dirt and, you know, all the things that a daily driver car will have with it. The one thing that I can't quite understand is why this center armrest drop down piece, why it doesn't have its own handle. There's no loop to grab with your finger. There's nothing on here. You kind of just have to shove your hand into it and pull it out. And then when it goes down, it just rests on the seat. So it sits leaning forward. I don't understand why that would, why can't you put some sort of a stop on the hinge in here? But that's all about the back seat. Now we'll get into the rest of the car in a more logical order. Thank you. So being that this is a Toyota Camry and a base model of all things too, you probably won't be spending a lot of time under what I'm looking at right now. But here's what it looks like under the hood. Not that it's really worth anything. 232 horsepower in the all-wheel drive model, which this is. Electric motor only in the rear from what I've seen. Kind of interesting, pretty neat. So this is mainly a front-wheel drive car. It is a hybrid. All 2025 Camrys only come in a hybrid. That's your only option with this 2.5 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine. Honestly, this car is no slouch. Don't get it twisted. It's a hybrid, it's great on gas, you know, whatever. It gets great fuel economy. It doesn't have unreasonably high horsepower numbers. It's fast. It's got to be something to do with the hybrid system. I mean, you know, it's not a Ferrari, okay, but it's quick. It's impressively quick. But when I've made a couple trips to Mexico, it's gone quite high speeds, and it has a very good acceleration. That's what I'm trying to say. A very good acceleration, continuing in high speeds. So, only other noteworthy thing up here, if you are picking this hood up, if you're doing your own oil changes, which by the way are incredibly easy on this car, everything's in a very good spot. Maybe I'll do a video on that. This hood has no assistance, no springs, no nothing, and it is very surprisingly heavy. It's, again, not the heaviest thing in the world. If you're picking the hood up, just be prepared. Don't drop it on your fingers, because it might take them off. Also, Apparently this is a new hybrid oil. This is the somewhat of the usual of what I've seen. 0W8. It looks like iced tea. It is the thinnest oil that I have ever seen. It's very, very weird, but it is in fact what it takes. It's not lying to you. So we'll close the hood up. I think that's all we need to see up here. Going over the rest of the car, 2025 is a redesign. So you get this lip going across from side to side on the car, new front bumper, new headlights. I believe the hood is different. A lot of people, I went over this more in my last video, but a lot of people are saying that this side profile looks exactly the same as the last generation, so this is a refresh, it's not a redesign. I'm impartial on that. I don't really know. I don't really care. I like the look of the car. I like the color. I specifically wanted this color, Ocean Gem Metallic, new for, I think it's limited models. I didn't see it in the trucks or anything, but I could be wrong. If it's a new Toyota color overall, please comment that down below. If it's just on the Camry, let me know that too. 16-inch wheels, pretty high profile tires. They're 205 something, I know. Yeah, 205, 65, 16. It doesn't just specifically list the tire size, right? It also tells you that it is the tire size, as if this number would be anything different on the tire. But anyway, this car deserves a good cleaning for sure. I never took the stickers off of the wheels, so it has these spots on it, so that's nothing to do with the finish of the wheel coming off or anything. That's just a sticker that I never cleaned up right. Back to the car. I think it's pretty sleek. I was considering this or a Corolla, because I just really wanted the good fuel economy. And I was looking at the older cars, the used ones to start, and from what I saw, there was no fuel economy difference in buying a Camry or a Corolla. In the Camry, if you know your Toyotas, you will know it is much larger. It looks much more broad and it has more of a presence to it. And the Corolla doesn't. The Corolla is a good car, but really I was in it for the fuel economy. They were within 1 or 2 miles per gallon, or I think they were even exactly the same fuel economy. So why would I not get the bigger car that gets the same fuel economy? And it has a roomier interior and more trunk space and stuff like that. So that was my decision process. You may have a different one, so you probably wouldn't be watching this video if you're considering a Corolla instead of a Camry, because I have a Camry sitting in front of me. So the front of the car is new, the rear of the car is redesigned as well. The sides are different, or maybe they're not, I don't know, let me know. I like the look of the car overall. The LE is the most tame of all of them. The SE, you get a different bumper, you get the exposed exhaust tips, you get a little lip spoiler. And the one thing that I want to do, the big thing of the channel that I'm trying to promote here is that whatever you want to do, you can probably do it with a little bit of research and a little bit of training and taking time to figure stuff out. Toyota comes with a painted black roof that goes down to somewhere near this body line in the back of the car. I think it looks really nice. I don't believe they offer it in the LE trim. It's not the sporty one, so it doesn't need to look that sleek. I don't know. Maybe this is just used for a fleet vehicle so much. But I wanted to try doing that. This car might get some wheels. Just, you know, have some fun with it. Why would I not be a little entertained? I'm probably going to keep this car forever. I thought I was going to trade it in when it starts getting old, but we'll see about that. I'm rambling again. Okay, let's get back into the car. I didn't even show you enough of the back seat, but we'll get to that. This is where you, like me, will probably be spending most of your time, hopefully, is in this seat of the car. Pretty inviting when you open the door, honestly. Everything's pretty accessible. It is dirty in here. Yes, it is my daily driver. I don't have enough of a lens to be able to show you the whole interior very well, but we'll get in here, we'll close the door. There's a lot of definitely quirks in here. I'm going to show you whatever I can from my eye level. So we've got a let's start top to bottom. Sunglasses holder up here is really, really big. maybe you have big sunglasses, but I can fit 2 pairs of sunglasses in here, no problem. And then when you close it, they just bounce around right next to your head. So it is what it is. There's a little bit of padding on this front side where they're going to sit on, but you know, there's the home link. My camera couldn't focus on this last time either. Oh, there it goes. These 3 buttons on the bottom of the mirror. I like that for keeping it out of the way, so you don't have one of these plastic pieces for your garage door opener. It's right on the bottom of the mirror, and it's pretty convenient to hold because you have something to line yourself up on. This is all the whatever eyesight system or whatever Toyota calls it. There's cameras in here that read you the speed limit on the road, and it displays it on the screen in front of you. That is crazy to me that it is actually, it's not going off of Apple Maps or something like that. It's looking at the street signs as you go by them. And when you cross the plane of the speed limit sign, it will show up here, and it will turn red if you are going over said speed limit. It will show you crosswalks. It's pretty interesting to see how that all works. This is what you get on the screen up here. There's a lot of stuff that you can toggle through for mainly the safety systems. Everything that this car has is through this bottom part of the screen here. If these messages could stop coming up. But I don't know what they mean, so I'm not going to get into them. It's something about the blind spot monitoring, it's the adaptive cruise, it's the vehicle departure alert or system or something like that. That's all right where that press brake pedal to and push start for starting the car. That's where all that will be. So I've got just not quite a full tank in this car, as you can see over here. When this is full, the range is actually pretty accurate. I've done my own calculations too. It says about 510, 515 miles to empty, which is pretty incredible to me, being that this car, if you research it, this car has a 13.3 gallon fuel tank. And when this says it needs fuel, you will put, if you run this car down to 0 miles range, you will put about 10 gallons in it. 500 miles on 10 gallons of fuel. It has 13 gallons, but it's something about the pump needs to stay submerged so it doesn't overheat, something like that. I dove into the forums one night and didn't really get anywhere because it was very technical information these people were sharing. 10 gallons of fuel, because this car truly, as advertised, gets very close to 50 miles per gallon. If you would have just noticed on the screen, mine says 44 right now. I've been driving at short distances, or it doesn't get as good a fuel economy. But going off of the rest of what I have in here, this car is very comfortable to sit in. I like the styling of the seats. I was mentioning this in my last video, my first impressions video. If you haven't seen that yet, go check it out. I'll tag it on the top of the screen somewhere. I like this pattern. It's just something different that makes it a little bit more interesting. Other than that, seats are pretty average. Some kind of a bolstering does actually hold you a little bit. The very stereotypical Camry headrests, which I absolutely hate. If you just put normal headrests in the front, this would look like a very average interior. But oh well. We've got this grille across the passenger side that rolls into the air vent over there. Just something sleek and interesting to put in there. Why not? I do like that they tamed a little bit of this screen protruding up from the dash. So it is still kind of that style, but it's much more tame than it was. The important part is I think it's pretty aesthetically pleasing. This is the small screen. Notice the border of where the screen is. And then if I can show it well enough, you can kind of, yeah, you can see over here. There's this painted black section on the outside of the screen where the volume knob is and stuff. It looks like it's on a small screen because this is the, I think it's an 8.3. If you get some of the higher models, or I think you can custom select it if you're optioning this car out yourself. The screen goes from this painted black corner to this. It's a 12 point something screen. Heater controls down in here are kind of misleading to start because it looks like you just have this row of buttons here, You have this row of buttons, auto climate, heated seats, and then there's this, which is kind of doesn't really say anything, that button in the top right. It's for turning off your air vents in the rear. So if you really want the AC blowing on just you in the driver's seat on a cold day, you can do that. It turns on by itself all the time. I like having the whole car be the same temperature because it all works together. If you have the AC on and you really want more air blowing on you, I get that. But when I have the heat on, I want the whole car to heat up. So if the back seat's cold, all the air in the front seats is just trying to heat up the back seat anyway. Maybe I'm overthinking that, but it turns on by itself is the weird part of that. Also, I drove this car in the midst of the heat wave that we had going on all summer, like we do. It goes from spring to summer and then boiling and then fall, or fake winter, I guess. Having the AC on in this car, this is the AC button over here. There's a light on the front of it when it is on, okay? You get in this car, turn the temperature all the way down. This AC light is not illuminated and it is cold. I don't even know why you have that. Also, that goes straight into the drive modes in this car. Under the shifter here, you have Eco, Normal, and Sport. Don't mind my paint chip. I was trying to match the color of this paint in here. Eco, Normal, and Sport. So normal obviously is where the car would stay if you hit 0 buttons in the car. Eco is where I drive the car all the time because it actually does make a pretty significant difference in the driving manners and the fuel economy of the car. Sport mode is actually pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty twitchy with throttle response. I think the steering may get slightly heavier. It's probably electric power steering, so that would make sense. It's pretty truly sporty in sport mode. If you put it in sport mode, the next time you get in the car, it will be out of sport mode. If you leave it in these 2 modes, it will stay there the next time you get in the car. If I leave the AC on, I want the AC on, right? If you get in the car, turn the AC on, get out, get back in the car, the AC button is off. I can't, for the life of me, figure out why the car knows better that I wouldn't want the AC on. That doesn't really make any sense to me. But again, maybe I'm diving in too deep to that. If there is a reason for it, please let me know. I really don't know much about the screen. I usually have it on this CarPlay screen, so I figured that out pretty well. Stores your most recent used apps over here. You can go through the Toyota systems through this menu over here, Sirius radio, FM, AM, your phone, information, stuff like that. Most of what I need is on this screen right here though, so I leave it right there. Screen is pretty easy to use. The only suggestion I will have about this, when you get the car, it has a chime at like an input when you press the buttons on the screen, and it has the most horrific noise that comes out of the car. It sounds like an old microwave ending with the one single ear-piercing beep. I don't know why I think you can change the volume of it. I just turned it off. When you press the button, something happens, so I don't need the input to be there. Thank you. But that is the one thing that I will say about that, is the chime on this screen, which thank God you can shut it off because it is truly awful. So, screen we went over, controls we went over. Air vents in kind of a weird spot here, but I get that they didn't really have much space other than that to put them around, so that is what it is. Wireless charging pad up in front of the shifter here. Really convenient spot. You can kind of get your phone up there out of the way, and when it's sitting there, even if you have navigation up on the screen, it shows you your directions. Your more written out directions are on your device that would be on the wireless charger, and you can still see it up here, but it is enough out of the way that it's not blocking anything, which is very convenient for that. Up in the front there, USB Type-C, USB-A, passenger airbag indicator. I do like the amount of space that you get up through here. I just wish there wasn't this pass through for everything. This is all one straight shot up through. So if you put little screws or hardware, you kind of go in and cut a couple bolts. If you put them back here, they end up all the way up there. And I leave a couple things up in there, and it always ends up mixed in with my stuff. So that's kind of a, not really a gripe, nitpicky little small thing that I'm not really upset at, but I thought was worthwhile to show. Something I do think is entertaining about the car, we'll start it up so it doesn't get mad at me. Park is blue, reverse is red, neutral is green, and drive is blue again. I like that every gear is a different color. And then over to sport mode. There is a plus and minus on the shifter, which is funny because it's an electronic CVT. Continuously variable transmission. There are no gears in the transmission. Why is there a plus and minus? Insinuating that the car shifts. It has something along the lines of, I don't know the name of what they call it, some sort of simulated gears in it, or gear ranges or something. You will notice on the screen, when I put the car into, I would assume it's sport, under the miles per hour, it says S4, S5, S6, 6 is the highest, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I have driven it in this, and it does do something, but I can't quite tell you what it is. So usually when I put it over in sport mode, probably by accident, it comes up in S5. Not 6 if you're going high speed, and not 3 if you're going a low speed. So I don't quite understand what this is. If you have any information about this, I'm just going to leave a laundry. Hello. I'm just going to leave a laundry list of things that you should leave a comment on. If you know anything about what that system is, please let me know. So we'll work our way over to the other side of the dash here. So the screen has all your safety systems. Your center screen has, you know, all of your radio information, stuff like that. Air vents, we went over this. On the steering wheel here, we have your horn, believe it or not. Volume is over here. It is a toggle up-down lever style. Your voice control to bring that system up on the screen. Mode, I've never hit it. I would assume it's AM or FM. It is indeed that. Mode is radio selection changed. This I use to skip songs. I don't know what else it can be used for. It's just left and right arrow. This is all of your cruise control things over here. So I come from a land of usual cruise control. So you turn the cruise control on, right? And then you usually hit the plus or minus to get it to set on the screen. So it took me about 30 minutes the first time I drove this car to figure out where the cruise control was. Because this is for your adaptive to set how close you are to a vehicle. That makes sense. Mode to set between traditional cruise and adaptive cruise, I would guess. Your lane keep assist, your speed plus minus, your cancel to shut off cruise control. And then there's this lane keep assist, lines, and speed thing up here. When you want to set your cruise control, you don't turn it on. You just hit this button. That starts the cruise control, and then you're on. You're off to the races. And then you can change it all through this. I don't know why it took me so long to figure it out. Maybe it's a lot more obvious than I'm thinking. But this is how you turn the cruise control on. So that's, I thought it was weird, but that's just me. D-pad to navigate through this screen up here. When all of your warning messages or information messages come up on this screen, this is your back arrow to get off of that. And then this phone doesn't really have much to do with your phone at all, because if you get a call, it will come up on the screen and it will say something along the lines of answer, yes, or you can scroll down to no and then hit OK using this pad. So I don't really understand what that's for. Everything's pretty usual over here. Headlight controls on the stock. Wiper controls over here. I do really enjoy about this car that it does have a single wipe option, that it's spring-loaded to come back. A lot of the other vehicles that I have do not have that, and it's quite inconvenient because you have to turn it on once and then turn the wipers right back off. Over here, boy do I have something to say about this. So you have your auto high beam, which is convenient that you can just turn it on and off. You don't have to go through a screen to turn it off if you want it off right now. Traction control off, your gauge lighting brightness, and then this is where I have a problem, okay? This is your fuel door open button, and this is your trunk button. You have no idea how many times when I go to the gas station, you are sitting perfectly level with my eyes. I can't see those buttons over there. And beyond that, they tuck them in as far over as possible, so you can't just poke your head around the corner and see the couple buttons on the edge. You have to go all the way against the window to be able to see these two buttons. And if you think you're hitting the right one, so you just hit the button, you know what you do? You open your trunk, which then opens all the way. So you look like an idiot with an open trunk in the gas station. And I still have to go back through now. First of all, I have to get out of my car to get gas, so that has to happen. But I also still have to open my fuel door. If I'm concerned that my trunk is now open, I'm going to get out of my car, I'm going to close my trunk, and then I'm going to go to open the fuel door. It's not open. I have to come back in the car. I'm upset about that, okay? I'm sorry. Window controls, nothing too interesting over here. There is a little angled cup holder, works for a water bottle or something because it sits at about a 45-degree angle or more. Nothing interesting down under here. Hood release is off to the side here, but that's the only thing, being that your trunk button, as we just went over, is right up here. So, yeah, I think that's... Oh, also, no little toggle on the bottom of the mirror here, because this is an auto-dimming, just an auto-dimming center rear view mirror. The passenger side and the driver's side exterior mirrors are both not auto-dimming, which is kind of inconvenient, but all things considered, it's pretty okay. Seats, like I mentioned before, are pretty comfortable. This came with the option package, whatever it may have been. I'll put it somewhere on the screen because I forget the name of it specifically. Comes with a power driver's seat. I think it's 6-way power adjustable. So nothing crazy. This is a Camry, after all. It's unapologetically normal. The two option packages that I have in this car, being that it's a Camry, you get a power driver's seat and not a power passenger seat, which is fine. That's okay. The higher models, I would imagine, come with that, and I didn't need a high-end model. One last thing before I get out. Kind of neat. This little wing piece. I like this little idea, honestly, because how many times do you have the sun right here, right? Or is that just me? You can block it just like that. This is supposed to be for when it swings over. You could block it, come out next to your head, right? It's kind of goofy, but it works. Oh, I do have a little bit of a gripe about this too. Why? This is exactly at my eye level. You would think that's low enough, but there is a little bit of a hill right in front of me. This is too much space. Why can't we make the visor a ½ inch longer? That would make so much of a difference. I like sitting low. I know not everyone is going to like sitting as low as I do, but why can't you make the thing a little bit longer? It's such a short visor. It doesn't even block anything. If I put you at my perspective, that's how much room is left. I mean, the sun could be way above the horizon still. I don't know. I'm being very nitpicky. This is truly a very good car. It drives very pleasant. It's easy to operate. It's easy to maintain. It's comfortable. It's super quiet. So I have to be nitpicky. I'm sorry. but this is a very good car, and I feel like I'm being a bit too hard on it. I really, really like this car, and I'm not ashamed to say it. I bought a base model Toyota Camry because I wanted a good daily driver. I wanted a good commuter. I wanted something that was quiet. It was good on gas. It had enough space to put people or fill the back seat with stuff or whatever I may have needed it to do. And this car checks all those boxes, so I have to be nitpicky where I can. Also, this car, I hate road noise. A base model sedan kind of scares me in that aspect, that it may have a lot of road noise, you may think, right? Especially with this car, I was talking to the salesman that I worked with, who's an awesome guy. He said that the car is so quiet that you actually hear things that you wouldn't hear. So it doesn't have a lot of road noise, but it's made that much more obvious because of how quiet the car is. For reference of how quiet the car is, if you drive next to someone on the highway with a roof rack on their car, you can hear the wind going over their roof rack on the car next to you. That's how quiet it is. So it does have a nominal amount of road noise, but I hate road noise, and it's very, very bearable. So I would say there's truly almost none, but if you're more nitpicky than I am, there is road noise. As with every vehicle, there's going to be a little bit of road noise. But it's very pleasant, it's very bearable, it's doable. I'm going to get back in the back seat now that I got my rant out of the way first. Back in the back seat, I'm sitting behind myself again. So I'm going to say it one more time. I am 5'11". Okay, glad we got that out of the way. I'm wearing a hat again. That's weird. I don't wear hats a ton, and I'm wearing hats in both Camry videos. So the roof back here does slope down quite a bit, right at your headline, right where your head's gonna sit. So weird time for that to happen, I guess, but you only have so much room to work with in the car. We went over the armrest in the center. Seats back here are quite comfortable. You have enough room. If we were going on a road trip, I may be upset about this and ask the person in front of me to move up a little bit, because I sit very comfortably knowing that there's no one sitting behind me. But you do get a little bit back here. You got some room to move around. I definitely wouldn't want 5 people back here for a road trip, but if you're going up the road, 5 people would be more than okay, I think. This is the kind of room. I'm touching the seat if I put my knees straight out in front of me, but again, I'm in a very, very comfortable position, like such. Down here you got your own air vents, like we talked about. If you lose air vent privileges in the front seat, you can shut them off back here. And USB-A and a USB-C underneath there. Kind of convenient so that you can stay connected when you're in the back seat. Yeah, I think that's about all back here. Last thing I didn't go over when I was in the front seat, if you're still staying tuned about that. This car has great visibility, front, mirrors, and sides. The back window is deceivingly large from the outside of the car. It has pretty awful visibility from the center rearview mirror, mainly because of this headrest. These other two don't really block too much because it's kind of out on the side. I would just use my side mirror for that. The back window is at so much of a slope that it looks, look how small it looks from up in here. And I know the trunk is in the way because I opened that and I still didn't close it. But it's interesting that there's so little visibility out the back window, but that's about all we need to go over with that, I think. Now that I so conveniently opened the trunk for myself, you get to see how much space is back here. You can tell I use it because it's dirty back here. My camera bag, an umbrella for reference. I mean, that's not a small umbrella and it looks like nothing in there. I wish it came with some sort of cargo net back here, because for all these small little things that I have that end up being all over the trunk, I nicely stuff them in the corner. I wish there was just something right here. I mean, I know you can buy them aftermarket, I just wish there was something. I also wish there was a little bit more than just a plastic hook. I had a 5-gallon bucket of oil back here. The car just started and it scared me. I had a 5-gallon bucket of oil back here, and I just wanted to restrain it, just to keep it from tipping over. I had a lid on it and everything, but you can't even get a tiny little ratchet strap to hook into this plastic hook. I don't need to tie it down. I'm not doing anything crazy back here. I just wanted something to be able to hook it against. And these are very flexible. They're not made for that. I wish there was a little bit more, just an actual, like a metal hook or something on the bottom, but that is what it is. Also, the trunk opens straight up, which is convenient, but if I had light little stuff in here that was going to blow away, I might be upset rather than coming up here and having the trunk still down. But I guess I would rather have the trunk open more than I would not have it open if I'm pressing the button for it to do so. So, also in the trunk of the car, you have plenty of space in the trunk, but if you find you need more space than what you have in the trunk, here is your levers to drop the back seat. Makes sense. You'd be standing behind the car trying to put something in the trunk of the car, and you find out that it's too big. Rather than having to walk around the car, drop the back seats from inside the back door, you can drop them from right here. Nope. You can release them from right here. And then you have to either lay up in the trunk here to push the back seat down, or still go up around the side of the car to drop the back seat. They were so close in their thinking. If there would have been some sort of spring assist that when I pulled this lever, that it would drop the back seat, it would give it a little push, that would have been a great idea. But they didn't do that. So you still have to reach up in this conveniently giant trunk to push the back seat down, or go up there anyway. It's so nice that this lever is back here, but it didn't work in execution, which is okay, but I just wish there was something a little bit different about that. Okay, that was all. Kind of got to slam the trunk, but that's okay. You'll have that. Here's your fuel filling situation. There is just about the most useless little cap holder right here. It's not tight at all, and if you miss even slightly, it falls out. But it's there. It's something. This all feels like it's made out of aluminum foil back here, but that's okay. Also, I have a gripe about every single door in this car. If you close it with what's a sufficient amount of force to close a door, it doesn't sound like it closes. Also, if anyone knows what this beep is telling me, please let me know. Because it's very annoying that every time I open and close the door, and I get out of the gas station or whatever, it beeps like 10 times. I'm going to do it one more time. The doors sound like they don't close. It's not a G-Wagon, slamming the door doesn't really do much. But I do wish it had a little bit more of a solid sound to it. But, oh, it's running. That's why it's doing that. Because the car is running. Okay. That's what it's telling me. All right. Thank you, car. Never mind. I digress. So, I feel like I've got I'm sure there's things I'm forgetting, and I'm going to be upset, and I'm going to wish I would have filmed them, but this video has to be out this afternoon. So, in closing, again, here's my 2025 Toyota Camry. Overall, if you are considering purchasing a 2025 Camry of your choosing, I say totally do it. I am not ashamed whatsoever to say that I love this car. It's so pleasant. It's somewhat fun to drive when you need it to be. It's all-wheel drive. It's comfortable. I use it like a Swiss Army knife. It's very utilitarian. There's plenty of space for people or stuff, or if you're just taking yourself around, you're still getting 50 miles to the gallon. In a nice car that has plenty of space, I say do it. I think it's a great car. I think it's a great value, and I'll be interested to see this winter how the all-wheel drive system does in the snow. But time will tell. I'm not wishing for winter to be here just yet. So guys, if you stuck around till this point in the video, thank you so much. Also, if you had any interaction, a like, or subscribed based off of my last video on this car, thank you for that. That video had 10,000 views, which doesn't sound like a lot. People get crazy amount of views on YouTube, but I'm a small channel. I'm staying humble. I'm still starting out, and 10,000 views means a lot to me. So thank you for that. And if you're interested in more Camry content, I'll figure out a couple more videos for this. Maybe I'll do some maintenance on it, show you how easy that is and straightforward it is. And there will be more of this car on the channel for sure. So like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.